In another case being reported from IIT Bombay, several students of the institute have alleged that there have been posters put up at messes in several hostels which states that only vegetarians people, as in students who eat vegetarian food, would be allowed inside that mess. This instance is being reported in the hostel mess of 12, 13 and 14. In fact, what has also come out are these pictures of the posts being put out which says vegetarian students only. Now, this has raised quite a contention among other students who've also alleged that apart from food discrimination, there's also discrimination which is meted out when it comes to the plates that are being served to them. For those who eat veg food, there is a round plate which is given, whereas those who eat non-veg, there's a square plate which has been given to them inside this messes. And CNN News 18 has been able to access the exclusive details of the RTI which was filed by these students, asking if there is any such provisions for Jain food or if there are any further fines that are being imposed for students not being able to follow these rules. However, as a part of that RTI reply, it's being said that there is no such provision in place. What in fact goes further to be added as allegations by these students, they've also mentioned that this is in practice for last several years, but more recently these posters were put up all over again, leading to them in fact raising this issue with the authorities. However, when the authorities at IIT Bombay were questioned about this, they said that this in fact incident is not true and there's no such discrimination being meted out by them anywhere. Now, this incident in fact also speaks of various such allegations that have been leveled against IIT, right from caste discrimination allegation leveled in IIT Bombay during the suicide of Darshan Solanki, on the basis of which we've seen that IIT had also issued new guidelines which said that there's no discrimination that needs to be practiced and no G-score or GATE score should be discussed by students or any kind of surname or caste discussion that should take place between these students. Now, this in fact is another development that has taken place at IIT. But however, speaking of the food discrimination angle, these students had also alleged that for last approximately 5 to 7 years this practice is in place. There are also fines collected against the students, but when the RTI response was sought from them, there was no response from the authorities on this. Also speaking to several agencies, there have been reports which say that there was no such discrimination in place. There is also no special Jain food counter for these students that is in fact that has been allowed. Jain students are served special Jain food, but there's no special seating arrangement for any of them. Now, this all details have been shared by IIT, several students who are a part of the mess committee. However, allegations by students from the Ambedkar Periyar Phule circle still say that there is discrimination being meted out, right from food discrimination to also fines that are collected and also the plates that they are being given. This has questioned several such practices that are placed in IIT. However, there's been clear denial by the IIT authorities or any discrimination that is in place at the institute.